Hey guys, so I thought I'd weigh in on the the transport industry and what I think will happen, and you know, where my thoughts are on this, and it comes from speaking to guys in the travel industry and guys, you know, that run hotels and things like that, and what's likely to happen. And I think the first thing that's likely to happen is staycation. You know, most people, if you look at China reopened, they had 1.9 million people travel the weekend it opened. You know, which doesn't sound like a lot, but actually for the first weekend, you know, it's a huge amount of people who went out, and actually that was out of Hubei province, I think it was. But bottom line is, you know, I think what will happen in most countries is as soon as they're allowed to leave, they'll get out and they'll do a staycation. They won't be able to fly internationally to a large degree. I think that's going to be stage 2 or 3. So stage 1 is the local market is going to benefit from these staycations, yeah, because people have gone stir crazy in their house. They want to get out and do something. They want to get out and be out somewhere, you know, and great news. So that's, you know, that's good. So that's first phase. Now that doesn't help the airline industry at all, but it does help hotels and things like that in whatever country you're in. You know, I mean, as a family, we're talking about, let's, you know, maybe do a staycation on Sentosa, you know, which is an island just to the south of Singapore. So Singapore's an island about this big, and Sentosa's an island about that big. But, you know, to get away with the kids, it'd be great. You know, because we're not going to be traveling to Thailand or doing any of the sort of usual stuff that we might do, you know, but bottom line is we can do a staycation, and most people I think that can and haven't really been affected too much by this will do a staycation. You know, the other side of it is, you know, I'm actually, one of the things I'm doing is I'm turning one of my properties, which is in a city centre in one of the cities, and I'm going to turn it into effectively a staycation place for my team, and I'll probably Airbnb it. You know, we'll see what happens. Who knows? But bottom line is we'll do that because they can't fly to the place in Spain, you know, so that's fine. Phase 2. So I think what's going to start to happen is places like, and I'm already hearing this, Australia and New Zealand, they'll have a free fly zone. In other words, they'll open back up so you'll be able to fly between the two. And yeah, you're going to have tests and things like that, and there'll be some restrictions, and you'll probably have to wear PPE on the you know, on the plane. But that travel will be opened up, and potentially Singapore will be in that bubble as well. And there'll be these bubbles open up, yeah? And what will happen is there'll be restrictions on what they can and can't do. So you might have to get a test, you know, within the 3 days before you fly, you know, and then that test comes back and confirms you haven't got it, and then you're allowed to fly, you know? So things like that, I think, will be the next phase before we open up to eventually where we get back to we can fully fly and all that sort of stuff. And potentially you'll have what you've got in China, which is like a health passport, which is on your phone. And basically it's a QR code that you, wherever you walk, you do that. I mean, in Singapore now, they're kind of not, it's not an app. You have your IC card, yeah, which is your identity card. And that everywhere. You walk into a supermarket now, they scan your identity card. And that also helps with the contact tracing. It helps you, or it helps them find, you know, if someone has it there and you've been there, they can contact you and say, stay at home for the next 2 weeks, or come in for a test, and then we'll decide whether you can, you know, go out and things like that. So I think, you know, that's going to be longer term, you know, so for airlines and things like that, that's going to be a bit longer. But I think phase 1 will be the local market. That's good news for local hotels and things like that. And phase 2 will be where there's limited bubbles, and phase 3 will be where it opens back up and we have normal travel. But that is potentially not until, I think, probably, you know, October, November, December, maybe even the following year, 2022, it will be, before it fully opens back up. It will open back up. I mean, in September 11, when that all happened, everyone said, right, nobody's going to be flying now, but it took about 2 years to get back to the same capacity that it was, you know, so we will. Humans have the ability to forget about things, and actually I think what you'll find is technology and a lot of these sort of things, the technology that allows for testing, because remember, we're all focused on a vaccine, and I think this is one of the other key points. We're all focused on a vaccine that says basically this will solve all our problems, but actually the other side of it is we're focused on better testing. And if we can get a test where you literally go like that, or you stick it up your nose and pull it out, and it gives you like a pregnancy test where it says plus or minus, and it's that quick, well, you know, potentially you can do that 20 times a day, 50 times a day, you know, to prove before you walk in, you know. So that technology at the front end will also assist with the vaccine technology. We may not find a vaccine. I mean, that's one of the, you know, the options, that we may not get a vaccine. But who knows? With enough money and with enough motivation, I think there is a fair bit of motivation there now. The likelihood is we probably will be okay from that perspective. Yeah. But look, guys, phase 1, local market. So, you'll start getting to go local. Phase 2 is the bubbles, like the Australia, Kiwi, and potentially Singapore. And there may be some other countries in that bubble will start. And that will sort of test the process and see how it goes, see if there's any more flare-ups. And then phase 3 is where, it'll open up where the world's available again. But it may be with a health passport into the future. But all right, guys, that's it for me today. Hopefully you're safe and healthy and all that sort of stuff. And looking forward to the world opening back up. And so bring on phase 1, please. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.